So something about me keeps thinking, or will I say feeling, I would have done better in the jungle with animals. But not very wild animals. Or let's say, okay, wild animals, of course, there, but then I think it would have been better if I were friends with these wild animals so they got to understand that I'm not going to do anything that will cause harm to them, but then we can live happily together in the jungle. Yes. And I may be considered very weird for the way I think, and I think I am that weird basically because people haven't gotten to understand the kind of person that I am. I'm not the way I am because I just want to be this way, but it's where I find inner peace. It's where I find me like thriving, being fully alive. Most of us don't know what it feels like to have a full life. I think that most people are here on earth thinking that they are just meant to like pass time, pay bills, make things make things complicated for each other. I haven't been like around animals to know what it's like. I just love the way that they don't overcomplicate things. I remember I was trying to tell somebody an instance one time that, have you seen goats having wedding or wedding ceremonies, or have you seen where lions are hosting a party, a lavish, maybe they do those kind of things, I don't know, maybe. But then, and please don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that lavish parties are bad. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm just kind of trying to say I think they don't overcomplicate things. They don't make people, because there's a couple of people who are somewhere who feel not complete because they are unable to host parties. They've made hosting of big parties like the major thing, and if you cannot be in those gatherings or be part of it, something is missing out of your life. If you don't have the best Gucci shoe, if you don't have the best designer accessories and all of that, something is missing from your life. If you're not part of the trend, something is missing from your life. So I'm not against all of these things. I'm only trying to say that your way may not be my way. You have your way of doing things, I have my way of doing things, but we are not saying that. I'm not saying my way is perfect, I'm not saying your way is perfect, but I don't think we have to normalize your own perfect to be what it is. And then if I don't fit into your own idea, I'm off. I have so many ways where I disagree with human beings. I kind of feel that this world is very, I want to say calm, but I know that it's not always calm. We have earthquakes and all of that. But then I look around and I see beauty everywhere I go. I see like the clouds, the trees, the flowers. Like, I find beauty everywhere I am, but we just kind of want to complicate things instead of just existing and loving what you see around, whatever it is. You are being compelled to buy somebody else's idea because somebody else felt that this is what beauty should look like, and then you don't fit into what this person has categorized as beauty. I feel we've really complicated a lot of things in this life, and if you would agree with me, these ideas, and not just these ideas but these things we call tradition, it's more of people one day who sat down and then they said that let things be like this. A couple of men, you don't know them from anywhere, they just sat down and said, yeah, let things be like this. And then so many people were pushed to submit to their idea. You don't even know the history behind most of the things you call your tradition, those things you hold so dearly, and then you're like, oh, if it's not done this way, you're wrong and I'm ready to kill you. You don't know where those things came from. If you're asked to talk about the history of some of the things you hold there, you cannot pinpoint anything. You are simply doing it because you were asked or you were taught to do it. Our teachers in school taught us to do this, da 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 da. Our parents, this is the way it has always been done, so it must always be done that way. You don't want to do things differently. And then if somebody else does things differently, the person has to be stoned to death. Of course, I'm being too extreme, not really stoned to death, but in your mind you stone the person, you hate the person, you cannot buy the person's idea, and if the person is not this way, then the person is like, you call them different names. There are so many names. But the funny thing is that I used to be like that. I have to be very honest. I used to also be like that. If somebody didn't buy my, I don't know if I'm still like that, but maybe I'm trying to outgrow that. I see my life as an evolution. Every day I keep on growing. I don't want to ever find myself the same person I used to be even few months ago. I want to keep on upgrading myself every day. My brain is more like a software. I want to keep on updating the software operation system or whatever it's called consistently. So I want to read books that nourish my mind. Let me get this book that has inspired me. Yeah, this book. This book has really inspired me, and if you want a copy of the book, you can just check the link in my section, so you'll be able to place a copy for the book, and of course it will be delivered to you via Amazon. So now, the reason I had to bring this book up is because this book has actually inspired me. It has pushed me. Sometimes it's not comfortable. As the title says, think again. Sometimes I'm forced to rethink, to think like a scientist. When I'm trying to hold on to what I've always known before, this book tells me think again, and so I have to think again with an open mind and with honesty, because sometimes I tell myself, no, Winifred, you're wrong. You're wrong in this particular thing, and this is how you should do it. I have those conversations with my inner self. I think it's called introspection. Yeah, I have this introspective moments with myself from time to time, and I want to always get feedback. I want to spend time with myself. I enjoy solitude. I find myself being very honest with myself to say, no, Winifred, you have to rethink this thing. And once I rethink it, the thing about me is that it may just be a little bit difficult for me to accept that, okay, what I was holding on to before is outdated. But for the sake of wanting to move forward in my life, I just have to buy that idea and go ahead without lying to myself, without being afraid. The reason I decided to do this video today is just to not particularly say that I want to, or I would have done better if I was living in the jungle with animals, but it was just to point out that our society is made very complicated, and I don't think it's like that. But even if it's like that in the jungle, if that's how animals are doing, but I know that if I go to the jungle to just stay there, everybody's going to mind their business. The lion is not going to be angry, oh, why are you not eating flesh? I feel like they are doing things differently. The fish is swimming in the water, and it's not condemning the goat for walking on land. Like, everybody just knows they are doing what they are doing. They're just living. And human beings, I don't think people are just living. People are making things too complicated for themselves. And you see me, I'm getting to this I don't give a fuck level that it's becoming like, I feel it's dangerous, because there's this level I'm going to get to, and I'm just not going to give a fuck about anybody, whatever you think. I'm just going to do what I have to do. But sometimes I think I can't always be like that, because you have people in your life, people you want to really make them happy, proud. My parents, for example. And you have to give a fuck. You have to, because how will I put it, not giving a fuck in such a way that you would suffer like so bad, but you try to find a common ground for people you really love. If you really love people around you, try to, of course, be subtle on how you do it, but then of course you try your best to like create that middle ground, or whatever it's called, common ground, rather, common ground, yeah, for the two of you, so that you'll be able to, you know, enjoy the relationship. Because I think that life can be more full when you have relationships you enjoy and all of that. So I think that's more like a different topic for another day, but that's just the ranting. I might be ranting, maybe, if I have been ranting, but that's just that for today though. And I am Winnie and Doll if you're coming across my channel for the first time, and I am a first time mom. I don't want to use labels, actually. I don't want to use labels, because I think the labels will just hold. But I think for now, the most important thing I'm doing with my life, as far as I am concerned, is motherhood. Tomorrow I may be something else, because I am somebody who keeps evolving, and at the time, this is who I am. But I'm also an entrepreneur. I help people who are trying to quit their 9 to 5s and experience life more full, especially those who have, how will I put it, like, well, let's say somewhere to lean on. Because the truth is that if you want to, like, quit your job and find how, like, how will I put it, find a way to rebuild your life, and you don't have a support system, it's going to be pretty difficult for you. I have to be very honest with you. I'm not going to come lying here and make things look so easy. You need to have people that will support you. Even me that I'm speaking here, I've had people who have supported me from time to time. But the essence of everything is that I'm just trying to point out the fact that I help people who, of course, have a support system to see how they can create something out of their lives. Not people who are like chasing the bills every day, because you actually won't even be able to concentrate on what I am going to teach you or what I'm going to help you do. And I use my life as an example, because I was in one of those situations where I hated my job. I just didn't feel like a human being most days. I was beginning to feel like a robot doing the same thing every day. Like, life was becoming too monotonous, and I just knew that I couldn't fit in, especially when you're working for somebody who doesn't even value what you're doing. So I decided to just quit and go back to my village, stay with my parents there, and see how we can build what they were doing at the time. And of course, it's a long story, but that's how I started. And if anybody told me I would be in the United Kingdom 2 years after, I would have probably not, maybe I wouldn't have said I wouldn't believe, but I just didn't see myself here. I jumped even when I didn't know what the journey was going to be like. So I'm going to be teaching you. If you're interested in learning, just make sure you comment, and of course I'll reach out to you. I'm still getting to learn a couple of things around this little things, so I would get back to you as soon as you drop a comment. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're a mom, particularly who is trying to grow in your life, make sure you subscribe so that each time I make a video you would get notified. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.